Hi, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to my leadership lesson of the week. I wanted to say that it has been a long week in talking to my other friends in leadership who started back this week with professional development. They're kind of in the same boat. It's one of those weeks that feels so exciting and productive, but it does feel a little overwhelming and long. So I'm excited to have a weekend, which I'll probably still do some work, but excited to just have a weekend to chill out. So my leadership lesson of the week is around your first initial coaching meetings with new hires. So this week I had the opportunity to meet with all 4 of my new teachers that I am working with this upcoming school year. And while it is super tempting on both ends to talk about academics, they have questions about academics and questions and schedules and content and curriculum. And while I'm eager to talk about all of those things as well, I also know just from my own experience that that initial meeting really needs to be about the people sitting at the table. It needs to be about getting to know one another and doing so in an authentic way. So not like, what are your pet peeves, or, favorite food, or like not icebreaker type questions, but truly starting to build the foundation for coaching, because the relationship between a teacher and a coach has to be so strong. They have to trust you. They have to know that you have their back, that it is a partnership, and that you are willing to be in the fire with them. So the way that I did that this year was connected to Elena Aguilar's teacher resiliency work. And so I used a self-assessment. I pre-sent it ahead of time and asked them to just look over it. And it asked questions like, how do you handle change? Are you able to give yourself compassion as well as compassion to others? And how do you build community? Self-care. It's got a variety of questions. And instead of just them reading off how they scored themselves, we actually had a dialogue back and forth. So we discussed each resiliency habit. And I also modeled vulnerability by answering the questions as well. And from that came really rich discussion. It was organic. It was genuine. I learned a ton about them. They learned a ton about me. It let down guards on both ends. What I have found is that a lot of teachers, depending the type of school they're coming from, there can be a very strong divide between administrators and teachers where there's a lack of trust. And the result of us having a really vulnerable conversation on day 5 of knowing each other was that when we came back whole group with the rest of the staff, their reflections were around just how comfortable they felt in the conversations, how excited they were to continue to work with one another, and that some trust had been built. So my leadership tip is really just around, do not use that first meeting to do the technical things that are important, but are not necessary to keep a relationship going. Do the adaptive piece, get to know your people, let them get to know you. Have an awesome weekend, y'all, and I will see you guys next week.